Hey traders, welcome back to Your Nifty Guy. I hope all of you are doing well. So today's market looked calm, but beneath the surface, something important is clearly building. This is exactly the kind of session where impatient traders get trapped and disciplined traders get ready. In today's video, I'll decode what Nifty is actually signaling, why today's silence matter more than a big move, and how I am planning the trade setup for Monday. If you are serious about trading Nifty with clarity and structure, not guesswork, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and watch this video till the very end. This plan could make the difference between reacting late and being prepared. Let's jump straight to the charts. Nifty opened with a big gap up today. So that is on the basis of the CPI data in the US, which came in where inflation has cooled off quite a lot. So in one of the previous videos in this week, I had mentioned about important data points that are being aligned globally, which could have an impact on global markets as well as the Indian market. And the US CPI data was one amongst them. So why the data is important is because US is the mother market and the CPI, which is the inflation data, basically cooling off simply means that there can be much more higher chances of rate cuts which are being done, right? So that is the reason why even US markets had rallied last night, and the same impact could have been seen in India as well. So we opened with a big gap up above the zone which I had mentioned clearly about the 25,900 levels which we had marked on our charts. Now I had not expected these to be breached today, but then again it was a very good trading day, especially for the bulls all and also the portfolio stocks. Absolutely everything was in green today, and out here market was doing a lot of trapping, right? So in case if you somebody would have blindly shorted at seeing a double top out here, would have been trapped. Somebody would have again created a long entry without a pullback based on the day high breakout, would have been trapped as well, right? So yeah, mostly the day was extremely sideways with no clear structure. Again, it was a no trading day for me. Once the market opens with a big gap up, it becomes very difficult to actually find out some good trades, right? Because market has already the most of the move has come in overnight, right? Try to understand the move which is expected for the markets to make a move in throughout the day. Most of it becomes like a overnight with the gap up opening, and then on an intraday basis, markets usually remain sideways, and that is exactly the case with a big gap down as well. So whenever in future, this is a cue, right? Whenever in the future you look at the data, look at the opening, and the opening is a big gap up or a big gap down, we need to understand that okay, today might be a day to take it slow. We should not wait to take breakout or breakdown trades, because there is a high chance of getting trapped and the market would mostly remain sideways. This is exactly what had happened. Now, in yesterday's video, we had discussed certain points which we'll again be discussing. So I'm deleting the pointers which we don't need for Monday's market. And then, like I had clearly mentioned in yesterday's video, so I had posted the video very late. The videos got very less views, so even regular viewers, I'm sure, has not watched that video. So make sure to watch that particular video first before watching this video, right? Because in that video, I had clearly mentioned this is the weekly fib level from which market actually taken support. And in that video, I had shown that okay, Friday's market is still pending, but what we need is a out is to see how the weekly candle is closing, right? And if we look out here, the weekly candle looks more like a doji. It has closed very near to where it has opened, but try to understand how I look at it, right? For me, the structure on weekly time frame is still bullish with higher highs and higher lows. Market taking a perfect support at the fib levels. All right, from the zero point 0.5 to 0.618 zone that was pre-marked on our levels, market has taken a perfect support from those levels. Plus, this particular candle, this week's candle, the week ending 15th of December, sorry, starting 15th of December and ending on 19th. So this particular candle uh, went very, very close to becoming a negative and a reversal candle. So, right, if it would have closed below previous week's low, this candle would have qualified as a reversal candle with the high being lower than previous high, low being lower than previous low, and closing also below previous low. But look at the buying which has come in from below. So, I look at this candle as a very, very positive candle. So, yeah, weekly sorted. On the daily time frame, if anybody would have been following my videos again, I had clearly mentioned that again. I'll just simply get back the drawings. Just hold on for a second, guys. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I was getting a call on my phone. So, yes, this is what I was mentioning. So even though the structure out here, we can look at the change in structure, the first leg of change in structure, right? The structure has still not changed. But out here, what we can see is at a support, we took a bounce, we came back, we have created the first higher low, right? So that is how the structure changes. We have created a first higher low. Now, if we go back above this particular swing, we'll be creating a higher high, and then the structure changes, and then uh, that will define our bias, but not limit how we trade, right? Because, like I say, in the stock market, anything can happen at any point of time, and nobody knows that, right? Without any reason, anything can happen. Without any trigger, without anything, you will be surprised at how the market reacts and behaves. But then that is how it is, right? And you know, if since you are trading into the Indian markets, you need to accept the fact that anything can, not just for Indian market, it holds true for any any particular tradable market, right, or tradable asset. Anything can happen at any point of time. It is all a game of probability, and you should be prepared for anything and everything. But again, building a story or looking at how things are going ahead will give you a point of clarity and give you some certain biases based on which you can take certain high probability trades and avoid some trades which are not looking too great or which are low probability trades, right? So on the daily time frame, this is something which I was apprehending would happen because this is a weekly fib level and it is not so easy to break it, right? The structure on weekly time frame should not do not change very, very easily. So this is something which we have observing. So again, so this particular high of 26,050 odd levels, that becomes a good point of observation that we should have about how prices are reacting around these levels, right? Even on a daily time frame, if we look from this entire fall, we have got a closing today above the 0.618 zone as well. So this looks more like a either a deep retracement or the first signs of a reversal again or the change in structure on the daily time frame. So whatever it is, however the next week unfolds, we will be keeping an eye on it and simply be prepared for it. Again, on the 4-hour time frame as well, what we can see is a good double bottom kind of formation with again the 26,050 levels marking the break of a double bottom out here. So these are the things that we need to keep an eye on. On 75 minutes time frame, this was the double bottom that we were considering, and 25,900 odd levels had been marked based on that. And that is something which has already happened. So the structure on the 75 minutes time frame has already changed. But then on the higher time frame, we still have to wait for confirmation. But again, we already have our biases in place. And yes, we are ready with our simple, actionable, tradable plan for Monday. Do we have a good trend line coming in from here? This should be a trend line that could be used, but then we already have broken out above it, so would hardly make a difference. I'll be deleting it. Not much of an important trend line for us now. For Monday, the trade plan will be extremely simple. Above today's high, we are long, right? And based on the 75 or 4 or wherever we're getting a clean swing, yes, this is a neat and clean swing. I will be marking the fib levels, right, guys? So how things change overnight, right? So till about yesterday, uh, we were marking fib levels which would be acting as resistance, and just with today's price action evolution, we are marking fib levels which will be acting as a support going ahead, right? So this is the nature of the markets, and we should be uh, willing to understand and appreciate the same. Out here, if we get a good uh, or positive price action, if we approach these levels, we can look at a buying trade. Now, a selling trade can be initiated if we even break down below the previous day's low, but then again, that would be a low probable trade for me based on how the structure is developing and evolving on multiple and higher level time frames. My sincere suggestion would be to actually stay away from certain short trades on the downside. India VIX has again come down, so that is a point which Siddesh, thank you so much for pointing it out to me. I was not keeping a keen eye on India VIX, but after you mentioned, I went and checked, and once again, India VIX has come down to historically low levels, right? So option buying again, that is the reason again we are facing some difficulties in option buying trades, right? So there is in terms of the definitive part, there is low volatility, but then again, too low or too high of a VIX is a problem for option buyers as well as option sellers, right? There are multiple factors which are there for both, so there are pros and cons of everything, and we need to be at a comfortable level of India VIX as well, wherein it becomes things become much more suitable and easier. But then right now, we are at historically low levels of India VIX. So will this rise again by trapping people like me who have a long bias and who would be creating long entries out here, or whatever happens, we'll be keeping an eye on. We have our important levels marked. So for the time being, below this levels, we are absolutely short, like we always have below an important Fibonacci level. Uh, but then again, the point is this level is below previous day's low, right? And if after this particular closing, try to imagine we open somewhere around flat, and then instead of going back up, or we open the slight gap down, instead of going up, if we are approaching the previous day's low, there is also a fib level support which is nearby. So again, in short, uh, I will say still keep your trading to a very minimum, and try to limit your trades. Do not jump at every single trade that you see or spot on the chart. Be very, very patient with your setup, and based on how the things are forming and shaping up on chart, keep your quantities low for now till we get some much more clarity. So again, like I said, uh, Nifty is becoming a little bit difficult to trade. It is not a very easy instrument to trade right now, especially because broadly speaking, whatever is happening, there are swings which are being created on, or structures which are being formed on smaller as well as larger time frames. But broadly speaking, we are in a range. We are in a big range, right? And that is the problem where all the issues are being created. We are stuck in a big, big range out here. So till the time we get some clarity, I think we should avoid going in with full quantities or all guns ablaze. We should keep our quantities very, very low, and yeah, keep a very strict stop loss. And if your stop loss is being triggered, we need to take it. I will, for the timing, at least for Monday, I will be avoiding any uh, trades on the short side, as it is this particular today's trading range, right? Today's high and low will be a no trading zone, right? It will be an absolute no trading zone, except yeah, in case if you get a big or a bullish candle out here. That holds true, of course, if we get a bullish candle out here and then the low of that candle gets taken out. So that will be a trap which you can trade on the short side. But apart from that, I will be keeping an eye out only on trades for the long side, because combined with the weekly, the daily, and the way the structure is evolving right now, my bias is for trades on the long side. Plus, okay, another data point. Yes, these 2 days, right? These two trading days, Wednesday and Thursday, FIIs and DIIs have been net buyers in cash, right? Both these days seemed negative. This day was negative on the chart. This day was a sideways day with market moving in both the directions. But then the thing to observe is FIIs were net buyers in the cash market on both these days, right? So that is again another point to check. Maybe this is accumulation which is happening out here while people are thinking that, okay, we are nearing a breakdown. These are the first signs of reversals and not exactly a reversal. We are in a range, but then again, uh, this is something that we should keep an eye on. And for that particular reason, as I said, I will not be looking at any trade on the short side for the time being. My focus will be for trades on the long side. If we get a good opening, if we get a good structure, we will be taking trades on the long side, of course, with limited risk. Right, will not go out all guns blazing and full out for aggressive zone. We'll play defensive for a while till the market settles, and then we can go once we have a good enough clarity, uh, we can go with our full quantity or with full force, right? So yeah, that's it for the analysis part, guys. So this is how you stay ahead of the market, not by predicting every move, but by preparing for the right one. The market will do what it has to do. Our job is to execute with discipline when the opportunity shows up. If this breakdown added clarity to your trading, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who trades Nifty seriously. I will see you again on Monday with another clear plan. Until then, stay patient, stay disciplined because in trading, preparation always beats panic. Have a good weekend, spend time with your family. Markets are not everything. Switch off the screens. Yes, but yes, if you get some time, please make sure to analyze and read some charts. Try to focus on the market structure as well as backtest some setups or strategies that you might have or you are planning to implement in the live market. Use the weekend wisely, but yes, spend time with your family. That is what matters the most. Enjoy and have a good time. I'll see you guys on Monday. Cheers and thanks for tuning in, guys.